everyone, and welcome to the Poets Lounge. My name's Paulette Henson, and I am your host today for the show. Okay, so first we have up is Donnie Dobson. Donnie, go ahead.
How y'all doing again? I go by Rebel Jesus, and excuse me, I'm from Detroit, and this piece I call "Die." Faith without works is dead, but Pop said all you gotta do is keep 'em first. He'll keep you fed, tell 'em thank you, and make sure that your tithes they got their red. It assures that your profit makes a profit. Ain't that some shit? Apparently, you can buy your way into my spot. Secret. The same goal can be achieved, just suck a little cock. Don't forget to say amen. If not, then you're just sucking on some cock. Be aware of the anti-me. Description, he's white. When you see him, don't flee. Bust him in his teeth. Fuck that, turn the other cheek. If you ask me, that's blasphemy. Pops didn't let it go, but you expect me to do so? Hell no. Let that nigga forehead hit the flow. Imposter, my book told you so, but you ignored it though. Put that nigga right up on the wall. Praising false deities, right? I don't know. Society called me crazy. Maybe I lost it all. He say, she say, and all them other stories seem like a scheme because they blindly follow somebody nobody ever seen. Well, at least out of their dreams, and that's a bit blurry. We all in a hurry to get into heaven, but we all don't want to die. Waiting on a guy, moi, to come back and tell you I did it. It's okay. Die. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay, who's up next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
They told me words belong in boxes, neatly aligned, properly spaced, but my syllables refuse containment. They spill across margins. In my life, my chapters have chapters, turning pages, breaking cages, blazing stages. My voice is a storm brewing beneath the skies, each word a lightning bolt striking truth. When I speak, conventions tremble, rhyme schemes shatter under the weight of my truth. I am the sentence that runs on forever, the metaphor that shouldn't make sense but does, the question mark where there should be a period, the whisper that somehow drowns out the noise. I don't perform poetry, I breathe it. Let it seep through the concrete cracks in forgotten streets where language is still real, still dangerous, still rebellious, still authentic, eccentric, wordplay, prolific, are present in the present, gifted elevation, escalation, uplifted, still capable of starting revolutions, radical change evolutions. They say follow the masters, learn the rules. I say the masters were rebels first. Before their rebellion became tradition, before their fire became ambition, call me whatever makes you comfortable while I make you uncomfortable. With the unfiltered beating heart of what is real, my stanzas don't march in formation, they dance wildly. Rhythms only I hear, drum beats pulsing from ancestral hands. Futures not yet written but already calling, breaking lines where they shouldn't break, create pauses where you must inhale the silence because sometimes the space between words speaks louder than the words themselves. I am the poetic rebel, not because I want to break things, but because some truths can only be told by breaking open the language first. My words are the fist pounding on locked doors. My verses, skeleton keys for rusted minds. I write in the language of the unheard, speak in tongues of the overlooked, because poetry isn't meant to be pretty, it's meant to be alive. If every poetic piece is like the bee, then my voice is the hive, and nothing alive stays neatly contained for very long. So let my wild words roam free. Let them challenge, let them question, let them break every rule in your book and write new ones in the margins. I am the poetic rebel, and my revolution starts with this very breath. I breathe in, I breathe out, write poetry until there's nothing left.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, poetry.
Thanks.
Okay. That was amazing. I enjoyed that. Um, Next we have is Christopher.
A very short poem from my book titled "The Paper Snake." So the title is called "America Worries Me." Diamond knuckles sweeten incoming opportunities. Left America completely lopsided. Warped tours within a metal community. Excuse me. Are there any worries for me? Absolutely not. But if you wanted to see what I did, because the book focuses on strike through, so you can see what has been crossed out or not. What kind of adds to the title of America Worries Me?
How you doing? How you
Okay,
doing?
great.
Just I'm back with another one. This
Uh,
piece I call Through Poetry. Before I was on this earth, I was known. Went from being a myth to born a legend. The funny thing is, Pops made me a prestige peasant. He wasn't even present, a deadbeat. Barely even spoke to me until I was dead meat. A couple days later, I was on my feet. I got up out of there. Went to see my peeps. Told them I was out of here. Time lapse over 2,000 years. Now I'm doing poetry in front of the descendants of those who murdered me, but I'm not my dad. I won't hold you accountable for something you didn't ask for. That's how you cause a domino effect. Instead, I mind my own business, writing and laughing at these prayers I'm projecting on the ceiling, laid back and be chilling. Humanity be illin', believing I'm Captain Save them niggas. At one point, maybe, now, mostly not. But Copper Squad, there's more. Wasn't it my dad that planned this whole thing? So why my man's just Lou get blamed for everything? It sounds like he has accountability issues, so he created somebody to blame. It's probably why he's so ashamed to show his fucking face. And RJ, we trust me, it's not the shame. Ruthless. A GWA. You think he wildin' now? Wait till you hear the parables from back in the day. A people master. Check. Unstable emotionally. Check. A vampire. Not sure, but bloodthirsty. Check. Not giving a fuck. Double check. All these blind followers trying to make it into heaven. Good luck. No matter what, it's a lottery. But if you flatter me, I might can get your name bumped up. Knowing my merciful, loving daddy, I promise you, no guarantees. Now back to me. Yeah, I'm back. Please, don't bother me. Like y'all say nowadays, keep that same energy, and I'll be around city to city, state to state, global eventually, speaking the good word through poetry. Thank you.
wow. Nice. Good job. Good job. All right. Poetry.
Okay. They say words are just vibrations in the air, just breath shaped into sound, just mouth movements that mean nothing after they leave your lips. But I've seen words build bridges across canyons of silence, watched them tear down walls that stood for generations. I felt them in land like punches, leave bruises on my soul, seen them heal wounds that doctors couldn't touch. Afterwards, what's left when the echoes disappear? Words don't just disappear, they crystallize in our bones. They become the architecture of our believing, the blueprint of our becoming. That apology you never gave, it's still a ghost haunting hallways. That compliment you held back, it's still a seed that never grew. That truth that you swallowed is still burning in your belly. So choose them like you choosing what stars to navigate by, which prayers to send skyward, which spells to cast into the world. Because afterwards, your voice has forgotten how to make them. After long, your throat has turned to dust. Your words will still be out there, making earthquakes, making music, making meaning. Afterwards, We are never really gone. We are echo. We are impact. We are the ripples that never stop rippling.
Wow.
So my website is called Poetry Roots. That's my poetry brand. I'll just put the link in the chat. You can check it out.
Okay.
I do teach poetry work. I do teach poetry workshops. I teach workshops on how to overcome writer's block. Let me just put that in the chat box. I also have different poetry books too. Poetry books on I'll put the link to those too. My poetry books on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Lulu.com. My most recent book is called No Labels, Authentic Poetry. One second. Here is the link to my website.
Okay.
You can check that out, and then I'm gonna put the link to my poetry book. One second. Um, yeah, so my Poetry Roots brand is a poetry brand that promotes creative expression in its purest form, from writing, learning, content creation, fashion, my own poetry clothing line, to community building. The mission of Poetry Roots is to give a voice to the voiceless, uplift all who interact with Poetry Roots, and inspire individuals to become the greatest individual of themselves or greatest version of themselves. Um, and the vision is to create a community of people to discover their inner poet. I also do have I did film a documentary on my poetry journey. That's also on my website, but let me just send you the link to my poetry book. One second.
Okay.
So my most recent poetry book is called No Label, Authentic Poetry, and the two poetry pieces I shared was in this book. So
Okay.
I shared my poem, Poetic Rebel, and let's see, Poetic Rebel, and the other one I just read was called Afterwards. So those are both in my book, No Label. Let me
Okay.
just put the link. Let me put the link in the chat also. So this is the link to my poetry book and my website.
All righty.
Um,
There you go.
for my most recent poetry book, as it focuses on strike through poetry and all that weird stuff. Yeah, I'll share that with the link, and then I'll also put my Wix site in there as well. It showcases some of my artwork, other poetry that I've written, and also some my
Okay.
apologies.
Okay, okay. Um, this piece I call The Adam's Psyche.
Okay.
What if Dad was one of us? Just but he is. You can tell by the kids. Let's make these sinners out of our image. And in the midst of having our way with them, let's not reveal that we guys that self-hatred. Okay, here's the situation. The genesis of it all. I was like, let me be clear. We'll make them aware of their own delusion. Pop's like, yes. I'm like, how is this going to manifest? Pop said, I call it the Adam psyche. We'll override their imagination, making them subconsciously willing to be oblivious. I say, yo, it's me. Stop talking to me in parables. He said, my bad. Just preparing you. Speaking plainly, brainwashing. To make them believe they are making the choice they're making. Even Jess Lewis in on it. He's the fall guy. That way, we'll be okay. We can get away with raping and pillaging literally anything. Curiously, I asked, what's the catch? Pop said, that question gives me deja vu, but since you're playing the role of my son, I'll let it through. But you gotta die. No lie. You're the key to the human psyche. Over 2,000 years later, I realized that was the moment I was hypnotized and deceived into deceiving others for father's pleasure of being a say this, and I say this because of why. It's the only question that nobody can answer but guys that's gospel. Anywho, in a nutshell, what I'm saying, I don't even know the plan, but I got an idea who. Enoch. He the only one that seen Pop and lived. Well, there's me, but I was already deceased. This nigga even trying to riff like me. Go ahead, because I'm still that same OG. I broke free from the HS of daddy. You can do it too. All you gotta do is acknowledge it was you this whole time. Using your own brain to do everything you virtually done. I am an imaginative figure, playing something son. To believe in dad is believing in yourself this whole time. Using your own brain to do everything and you give it all to dad. To me, that's insane. And you saying Barney ain't real? You took how many of what color pill? Nigga, chill. Even if I am real, you don't know. As far as you know, hi, my name is Joe. I got a wife and two kids. I work at a button factory. One day my boss said, Joe, are you busy? I said, no. He said, create this earth with your left hand. All you got to do is believe that you can. Then I will program the delusion. And that's what had happened. It's not that confusing, is it? Thank you.
Nice. Very nice. I like that.
This piece I call autobiography. You can ask Pops anything. You just don't ask about nothing. That nigga will literally pick your brain. And what I mean by literally, he'll have somebody else do it. He'll never fight his own battles. He'll pick a chosen one and send them to slaughter and take their cattle. There's sacrifices to be paid. Unless you want the lottery to get into heaven gates to be stripped away. But hey, on earth you can have it your way. The more you can make somebody else's life suffer, the happier Dad gets, smiling in the sky using clouds as the cover for committing the suffer, you will prosper. Made a pharaoh even. When Dad gets bored, he'll take you down a path, send a couple players, or several. But when he gets real bored, he tampers with free will as an excuse to kill. To be real, White is the nigga. Pops as well. If you paid attention to what you be reading in my best selling book in the world, you can tell. Hell, you may even realize Jess Lewis posing as us. But who am I? Only the Christ. Why would I play? Telling parables is my forte. Oh, by the way, it's okay to be gay. They've been around the block. Ask about them cats who visit Lot, but it's not okay to be like Lot. That nigga. Let me rewind. Lot on my mind. They use me to preach hate to manipulate for Dad's sake, and what do you say? Amen. Blindly following, just because mom and dad said so. Honor thy parents. If you don't, they'll become Karens and have you stoned. It's talked about in my book. It's also talked about how I didn't have a choice in the matter. But it's cool. I got powers. I brought myself back. How I do that, you might ask? No. Plainly speaking, I'm my own dad. Yep, it's all in my book. You read what you wanted to read and ran with it. Even began preaching it, leeching off mankind's emotions, murdering anybody who questioned devotion. Curiosity killed the cat? Nope, that was Pops. And didn't try to hide it, but clothed the beast. You called them priests. They have the audacity to teach. Beware of the anti-me. HA exclamation mark. This fiction disguised as a biography titled The Bible would have been way different if somebody just talked to me. Instead, I had to possess this guy in front of you to tell you my autobiography. Nah, just jabbing. I just did doing poetry. Or have I? Thank you.
Nice, nice.
Okay, a very, very short poem. It's called It Starts with the Youth. Manipulation is ingrained deeply, and it starts with the youth. Or it starts with the youth. And if you can see what I did with the strike through.
The poet knows that broken things still catch and hold the light, that even shattered verses can illuminate the night. We write our way through tangled thoughts, untangle knots with rhyme, transform the chaos in our minds to music, line by line, each word a small rebellion against the urge to hide, each poem proof that even pain can blossom into pride. So let the ink flow freely through the labyrinth of care, for in the act of writing down, we learn that we are there, not lost, not gone, not broken past the power to create, but human, whole, and worthy of stories we translate.